Hey, y'all, you know what time it is? It's time to absolutely bawl my eyes out because it is flying day. It is officially time for us to leave Japan. And after the last couple months of packing, cleaning, shipping, house hopping, tears, and farewells, we are officially leaving Japan. Before we head to the airport, we're having one last meal with some friends at a restaurant that I've actually been meaning to try, and it did not disappoint. I got a mushroom shrimp curry, cheese naan, and a mixed fruit lassi, and it was phenomenal. After lunch, we headed to the airport. What a surreal ride this was to the airport. It really doesn't feel like we're leaving Japan. And our friend very kindly offered to give us a ride, saving us a lot of money on the large taxi we'd have to call to carry all of our stuff. We shipped 8 boxes, y'all, and we still have so much stuff. It's crazy. When two hoarders get together, it is not a pretty sight. We got to the airport a little bit early. The international airport in Hakodate is very small, and they only open in the late afternoon for like a couple flights. So we just spent the last 15 minutes getting in some last minute chit chat. And in case you're wondering, these two large bags are a golf bag and a snowboard bag, which you can check for free through Starlux. All right, it's time to go into the airport. We loaded up all of our stuff onto a couple carts, bid our farewells, hugs, tears, all that, and then headed off to check in our bags. Checking our bags was probably the easiest part of this entire moving process. So fast and efficient, we were in and out in under 5 minutes. And right before we went to security, some other friends showed up to say their last minute goodbyes, which was really sweet. And we went through security, and now all we got to do is wait for our flight. We made it. All right, it's time to board. We have two flights today. First one is a 4 hour flight to Taipei, and then an 11-hour flight to San Francisco. Since this is an evening overnight flight, we do get dinner with this flight. I chose beef and noodles, which actually wasn't too bad. I give it a 7.5 out of 10. The fruit and the dessert were really good. And we've arrived at the absolutely massive Taipei airport. And we have about 3 hours until our next flight, so we decided to grab some food on our way to the gate. One thing I really liked about Taipei airport is that they have these kiosks where you can order from multiple restaurants at once, place your order, pay, and then you just go to the restaurant and pick up your food. It's very efficient. I almost always get curry whenever it's an option, but this one was so I'd say. I give it like a 6 out of 10. My partner's chicken was actually really good. I'd give it about like an 8 out of 10. All right, it's time to walk to our next gate. It's about a 25-minute walk to our gate. Man, I told y'all this place was massive. We decided to grab a cart to carry all of our stuff. Even though this airport is enormous, I do think it's really beautiful and well designed. And I've never been to another airport that has themed gates, though I'm sure they're out there. Unfortunately, our gate was not one of the themed ones. We sat and waited about 45 minutes for our next flight. For our first in-flight meal, I got curry again. I don't get tired of it. And this one's actually pretty good, made up for the one I booked earlier. Maybe 8 out of 10. For most of the flight, I watched the entire season of Sharp Objects, and I really enjoyed it. I'm a big Amy Adams fan, so it was really fun to watch her in a sort of horror, thriller, mystery type setting. About halfway through the flight, I noticed that my legs had started to swell up, which is not necessarily cause for concern. I take some medication that often causes fluid retention and bloating, so this is fairly normal for me, especially on long flights. I just try to get up and move around as much as possible. Our flight is almost over, just a few more hours to go, and now it's time for I guess, the breakfast portion of our in-flight meal. I chose egg and potatoes, not the best in-flight meal I've ever had, a solid 5.5 out of 10. And while I was sleeping, I noticed a sort of like burning, itching sensation on my neck. And when I woke up, I found this rash had started to form on my neck. No idea why. The only thing I had eaten in the last few hours that was unfamiliar to me was the jicama in the fruit salad that we were provided in every meal that I've had on each flight. So I decided to just skip that one in case I happen to have some random fruit allergy. I don't really think so, but you never know. Can't be too safe. I'm just happy to be off this plane, and now we just gotta wait for our luggage. We're in San Francisco now. We are so close to home, and the rash on my neck looks pretty nasty. It is really itchy and uncomfortable, but I'm not having any other problems, so I'm just gonna let it be for now. And my feet have turned into fat little paddles, which is really funny. My partner and I were laughing our asses off at that. Awesome. But don't worry, y'all. I just elevated my feet a lot when I got home, and it went down over a couple days. This box has my PlayStation in it, and it got a little beat up, but I think it'll be okay. All right, finally got all of our stuff, and we're gonna head outside to wait for our ride to pick us up. My mother in law and uncle in law, I guess, are picking us up, and we'll be staying with my aunt, well, my partner's aunt, for the next few weeks. All right, we have finally made it to our home for the next few weeks. Mama bought us a futon, which was really nice, so we opened that up immediately and set it up. And then our cousin made us some tacos so we could have a nice homecoming meal. Simple but delicious. I really hope you enjoyed this video and my Japan content. Please be sure to like and subscribe to support me and follow along in this new chapter of our lives. Thank you for watching.